Hello everyone, today let's solve the problem Spyke chatting, right? So we have almost solved 45 problems on this one, dynamic programming. So we have almost come to the end. So I said that we'll be solving 50 problems, right? So we are left with 5 problems. Let's solve some easy problems basically, right, at the end. Yeah, let's solve this one, basically A or B problems, right? I mean A or B, right? So this is fine. Now this was asked in the Coder Strike 2014 round 2, right? So you can just go through the question. It's very easy to understand basically. I'll just summarize the question so that it will be easier for us to solve the problem, right? So let's see what the question states here. Just give me a second, 1 second here. Let me change the color. Yep. Yeah. Now there are n employees, right? Just remember one thing, there are n employees, right? And m group chats. There are n employees and m group chats. So we are given n into m matrix, right? So there are n employees and m group chats. We are given n into m matrix A, n into m matrix A, right? Where A of ij equals 1. Just remember this one. What is A basically? We are given n into m matrix A, where this one A of ij is 1. Just remember this one. This is very important, man. So n into m matrix is nothing but A. It is given in the A for this one, and A of ij is 1. They have mentioned. If the employee I participates in the chat J, suppose if the employee I participates in chat J, right? So this one, total sentence, sorry. If we are given n into m matrix A, where A of ij equals 1, if employee I participate in the chat J, right? So I hope this is fine. Now a log of k events shows which employee sent a message to which chat. So there is a log, and a log of k event shows which employee has sent a message to which chat, right? For each employee, what we need to do, for each employee, right? So for each employee, so I'll just write here emp, for each employee, so we have to compute how many message notifications they receive. We have to calculate how many messages they receive, compute the message count basically. So we have to compute message count basically, message notification count, right? How many message notification they receive, right? So I'll just write here notification, right? And not tf, let me write here, this is fine, right? Yep, this is the question basically. And every message in the chat not sent by themselves and only for the chat they participate in, this one we have to consider. This one also keep in mind, this is very important, right? Every message in chat not sent by themselves and only for the chat they participate in, this one is very important. So let me read out this one loud. Just listen to this carefully. So there are n employees, right? So there are n employees and m group chats. We are given an n into m matrix A. We are given an n into m matrix A, where A of ij equals 1 if the employee I participates in the chat J. This is fine. And we also know that a log of k event shows which employee sent a message to which chat. This one also, this is also fine, I believe. For each employee, we have to count how many message notifications they receive, right? They receive, right? So that's what we need to compute basically. And one more thing, every message in the chat not sent by themselves, we have to consider this, and only for the chat they participate in, right? The employee basically, this one we need to keep in mind as well. This is very important, man, right? So this is fine, I believe. Just give me a second here. So this is the question. Let me come to the input output part, man, here. Right, so here see, input as per the question they have given the input here. So this is nothing but n. So we have considered this one in the question. This is nothing but n, and this is nothing but m here, and this is nothing but k. N m k. N we have been given 3, m we have been given 4, and k we have been given 5. So what is this? So this is nothing but the n into m matrix. They have strictly mentioned in the question, right? So they'll be given in the form of A basically. A of ij equals 1 initially, so we have considered. So this is nothing but A, right? And what are these basically? 1 1 3 1, this one, what do we call 1 3 2 4 and 3 2. These are the events basically. accordingly with the question or the criteria that they have given in the question. So these are the events basically, right? So 113, 113, 24 and 32. This is fine. So this is the input. So the output that we need to get here is 3, 3 and 1. Same goes with the other examples or other inputs as well, right? So same goes with the second example as well, or the second input, right? I hope the question part is completely clear along with the input output. Now let's do one thing. Let's quickly discuss the complexities, approach followed by the complexities, and then let's write the code. As usual, first let's discuss the approach. So I have considered the same first example that they have given in the question. So we know this one, this is nothing but n, m, this is k, and this is a, this one basically n into m matrix, nothing but it is represented in the format of a, right? It is represented in the format of this one, a of ij, basically a, basically, right? So this is fine. Now these are the events 1 1 3 1 1 3 2 4 and 3 2. These are the events, and the output that we need to get here is 3 3 1. So this is fine. Now let's go with the step by step explanation. We have been given n equals 3, m equals 4 and k equals 5, right? So this is fine, and this one we have already considered. This is fine. Now let's move on with the step by step explanation, right? First step is we have to count total messages per chat, total messages per chat, right? So we will be going with a in the code also I'll be making use of same variable name, chat message count of j, basically. So chat 1 we have 2, chat 2 we have 1, and chat 3 we have 1, and chat 4 we have 1. So accordingly with the example, right? So just give me a second. We have 1 second, 211 2111, right? So this is fine. Yeah, chat 1 we have 2, yeah, chat 1 2, chat 2 1, chat 3 1, and chat 4 equals 1, right? So now, well, let's count the messages each employee sent to each chat, right? So this is nothing but the self message count, right? Self message count, we can just represent this one in the form of self msg count. So this one of ij, this is fine, man, easy to understand. Next, what we'll do, for each employee I, for every chat j they participate in, I is nothing but the employee and chat is nothing but it is represented by j. They participate in a of ij initially. This is equivalent to the 1, right? So this one I have said this one in the question as well. And chat message count of j minus self message count of ij to their notifications total, right? So next let's move on with the further steps here. Let's apply the same thing to the example. So this one, see here, we'll be going with this one. They have said that for each employee I, for every chat j they participate in, a of ij equals 1, and so we have to consider a of ij this one, and chat message count of j minus self message count of ij we have to go with, basically, right? So this one we have to keep in mind. And what is this one? Basically not this one. So this first step, chat message count of j, we have basically chat 1 2, chat 2 1, chat 3 1, and chat 4 equals 1, right? So this is fine, I believe. So now for the employee 1, if we consider, basically employee 1 participates in 1 2 3 4, right? So employee 1 participates in 1 2 3 4 accordingly with the criteria, right? Employee 1 participates in 1 2 3 and 4, right? So we have been given 4 times 1, right? So employee 1 participates in 1 2 3 4 all, right? Minus we are going with this one, what do we call, self message. That one also we have to consider, right? So this one is 1 0 1 0, right? So this one will be 2, 5 minus 2 we will be getting 3, basically, right? So let's move on with the employee 2. So for the employee 2 we will be going with the 2 plus 1 plus 1, basically, right? So 2 plus 1 plus 1. So this one will be minus self message. This one we have to consider 0 plus 0 plus 1. This will be 4 minus 1. This will also be 3, basically, right? So same as the employee 1. So we have got 3 here. For the employee 3 we have 2 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1, nothing but here 3 minus 2, nothing but 1. So we have got here accordingly with the this one approach that we have discussed. So when we apply the same thing to the example, we have got the output 3 3 1. So one more thing, as I've said, we'll be going with a dynamic programming to solve this particular problem, right? So the output that we got here is 331, which is equivalent to the output that they have given for the, or that they have mentioned for the example 1 within the this one question, right? So our approach works absolutely correct. As I've said, we'll be making use of the dynamic programming to solve this particular problem, and our approach works absolutely correct, right? As we are completely familiar with the approach, let's do one thing. Let's quickly discuss the complexities part. So what will be the time complexity here? The time complexity would lead to big of n into m plus k, right? So the time complexity would lead to big of n into m plus k, right? So what would be the space complexity here? The space complexity would lead to big of n into m, right? So the time complexity would lead to big of n into m plus k, and the space complexity would lead to big of n into m respectively, right? So now why this is n into m plus k? Let me say this one as well, right? So this is n into m plus k because reading the participation matrix would take big of n into m, right? So this we know, and processing k events would take big of k. So overall this one, and also the accumulating results would take big of n into m as well. So overall it would be big of n into m plus k, right? So we are going with the reading the participation matrix along with accumulating results plus processing k events. So overall it would take big of n into m plus k, right? So this is fine, I believe. And what would be the space complexity? It would be big of n into m because we will be storing the participation a, and self message count dominates the space here in this case, right? So we'll be going with plus chat message count and DP array as well. So overall it would be big of n into m in short term, in simple terms, right? So the time complexity and the space complexity for the code that we'll be writing in the future would be big of n into m plus k and big of n into m respectively, right? So now as we are completely familiar with the complexities and the approach part, we are good to write the code. Let's start writing the code. Now we'll be making use of the fast input and the output. So let me do one thing. So let's import input output package, right? So this one will be fine, and also we'll be making use of the different utilities as well. So let's import the utility package as well, right? So I'll just go with the java.util.start. So this is fine. Let's go with the class. I'll just name the class main here, right? So you can give any class name that's relevant to the question, your choice. So now let's go with the main method here. This is fine. Also let me give here throws input output exception, right? So or else we'll be getting the error. This is fine, I believe, man, right? So within the main method, first thing is let's go with the input output part. So I'll just be going with buffered reader, right? So yeah, so this one will be new buffered reader. So this one will be new input stream reader of system.n. This is fine, man. Next let's go with a print writer. So this one is fine, pw. So this one will be put equals new print writer. So this one will be system.out. So this is fine, man. Yep. Now let's go with the string tokenizer as well, because we have to read the first line that is containing n and m k, all the things, right? So we have to read the first line that is containing n and m k. Let's go with the string tokenizer here. So this is fine. Let me consider the variable name st here. Let's create instance of it. So this one will be new string tokenizer buffered reader dot read line. So this is fine, I believe. The next thing we have to do is we have to read the number of employees. Also we have to read the number of chats along with the number of events on the log. I showed you that one, right? So a matrix, along with it we have to read the number of employees, chats, and number of events on the log basically. So this one will be int n equals, so integer, right? So I'll just go with here, all of them are integers basically, number of employees, chats, and number of events in the log. So this one will be integer dot % of as we have made use of the string tokenizer st or the variable, and this one let me make use of the next token here. So this is fine, I believe. Yep, let me do one thing. Let me copy the same thing here. Yes. Now let me paste this one again. Let me paste this one again. So this one will be int n m k. So this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Now let's do one thing. Let's go with a participation matrix, nothing but a of ij equals 1 if employee I is in the chat j. So this one I can just write it in this way, right? So this one is a equals new int of so this is size of n and m. This is fine. Now let's move on with the this one, what do we call iteration part. So this one will be int I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So this is fine. So within the for loop, let me again create the instance of the this one string tokenizer here, new string tokenizer of buffered reader dot read line. So this is fine as well. Now again let me go with the iteration part. So this one for the chats, basically int j equals 0, j less than m and j plus plus. So this one as per the approach, so we have to assign a of ij. So this is also integer, right? So integer dot %. So this one has to be string tokenizer dot, so I should have copy pasted this one, next token. So this is fine. Now we are just filling the row, right? So let me come out of this one entirely. Now let's do one thing. We have to go with the chat message count of j, that is equivalent to the total number of messages that total number of messages sent to the chat j. Also we have to go with the self message count, right? So that is equivalent to the number of messages employee I sent to the chat j, basically, right? So let's initialize both chat message count and self message count here. So this one will be int chat message count. So this one will be new int of this one m. Also let me go with int this one basically self message count. So this one will be new int of n and m respectively. So this is fine, man. Now let's do one thing. Let's move on with the iteration part. So this one will be for int I equals 0, I less than k, I plus plus. So within the for loop, let's do one thing. Let me assign the string tokenizer to new string tokenizer. So this one will be buffered reader dot read line. So this is also fine, man. Yep, we are just reading the event line here. So the next part would be, so this one is int x equals integer dot %. So this is fine. This one will be string tokenizer dot next token minus 1. So this one will be int y equals integer dot %. So this one will be string tokenizer dot next token. So this one minus 1. So this is fine. So this is nothing but int x and y, whatever I have assigned this one to the this one, right? Integer. So this is sender employee index, and the line number 26 is nothing but the chat index. Line number 25 is nothing but the sender employee index. Basically we have to convert this one to the 0 based, and chat, and line number 26 is chat index. Basically that one also we have to convert to the 0 based, right? So this is fine, man. Now let's do one thing. Let's increment the total messages for chat y, and let's increment the this one, or what do we call messages sender x sent to the chat y. So that one also let's do, meaning we have to increment the chat message count of y as well as the self message count of xy, right, in simple terms. So this one will be chat message count of y. Let me increment this as I've said, and let me go with the self message count of x y. So let me increment this one as well. So we are done with this part. Let me come out of this one entirely. Now as I've said, we have to go with the DP array, right? So DP of I will be storing the result. So DP of I will store the result. This is nothing but equivalent to the notifications received by the employee I, which is equivalent to the this one, notifications received by the employee I. So after that, after initialization of the DP, let's go with the 2 iterations for each employee and for each chat. Right, so we have to consider, let's discuss that one later. For now, let's this one initialize the DP. So this one, new int of size n. So this is fine, man. Now let's do one thing. As I've said, we have to consider for each employee and for each chat. So we have to go with this one, a of ij equals 1, meaning within the for loop, basically 2 for loops, we have to go with if a of ij equals 1, because only if the employee participate in the chat j, we have to move forward, right? So only if the employee participates in the chat j, we have to add those messages in chat j, excluding those sent by I, right? So that's what we need to do. So let's articulate the same thing in the form of code, right? So then after doing that, we have to print the notifications for all the employees, right? So that's what we need to do. Only that part will be left. So first let's consider for each employee and for each chat. So I'll just go with for int I equals 0, sorry, less than I plus plus. So for int j equals 0, j less than m. So this is fine, I believe, right? So this is fine. Now as I've said, only if this particular employee participates in the chat j, then we have to add the messages in the chat j, excluding what? Excluding those sent by I, right? So this one will be if a of I j, this one equivalent to 1, then let me go with the dp of ij, or let me go with dp of I equals dp of I plus chat message count of j, this is fine, minus self message count of ij. Yep. Now let's do one thing. What we are left with, basically we have to print the notifications for all the employees. That's what they have asked in the question as well. Also we have to ensure the output is written out, meaning we have to flush or close, right? So these two things we have to do. So let's go with the iteration part here. First let's print all the notification for all the employees. So this one will be int I equals 0, I less than n, pair of size n we have considered, right? So this one will be fine. Out dot, so we have to print that one in the same line, I think, so we don't have to make use of ln, I believe. Yep, print is enough. So this one will be dp of dp of I, this is correct, and also we have to append the space. So we are printing on the same line, right? So here see 331, whatever the output that we got, we don't have make use of the println. So this is fine. Finally we are done with the logical part, so we just have to ensure the output is written out. We can just make use of the flush here or close. So I'll just go with a flush here. This is fine. Yep. This is it for the code. Simple, right? So basically this is rated 1300, I believe. So yeah, this is one of the easiest questions, man. We can solve it easily. This is fine. Now yep, we are done with the coding part. Let me do one thing before checking the code with the different inputs. So let me copy paste the signature starter template. So I'll just come here, let me paste this one over here, right? So this is fine. Let me come to the coding part. So let me copy this one. We have to get the output 33. Let's check the same thing. So variable I is already defined in the method main. So this one, okay, so what? So we are using it for the same purpose, right? So here this one, and I equals 0, I less than n. So what's the problem here? I don't understand. It's already defined in the defined where I have just give me a second here. 1 second. Oh yeah, man. So here I have this one bracket placement actually. This one, let me do one thing. Let me not make use of that brackets at all actually. So this one, let me remove it here as well. So now this has to work. So this was the problem. Either I had to place the brackets here, basically these two brackets, or let me remove this one. This doesn't look good. Including the black brackets would have been fine. This is fine, man. Let me run this one. Yeah, we are getting the correct output. Basically this was the problem, bracket placement. So this is fine. Now let me copy this one. The output that we need to get here is 0230, right? So let's check the same here. Yep, 0230, right? So this is fine, man. Let me copy this entire thing. So I'll just come to the question part. Let me hit the submit code here, submit button, basically submit code button. So let me choose B here, Spyke chatting. So let me paste the code here and hit the submit button. Let's wait for some time. I hope this works for all the test cases, man. Let's see. Running on the test case 1. Yep, let's wait for some time. Running on test 13. Let's wait for some time. How much time it will take, man? Reload this one once. It's still running. Okay. Let's wait for some time. So yeah, I can clearly see here, man, the verdict that we got here is accepted, right? So whatever the code that we have written works absolutely correct for all the test cases, right? So we have made use of pure DP here to solve this particular problem, right? So we had discussed the approach, whatever we had discussed in the approach. So exactly same thing we have implemented or articulated in the form of code, basically, right? So that's what we had done. So whatever the code that we have written works absolutely correct for all the test cases, right? So I hope the solution part is completely clear along with the approach and the complexities part. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.